All right, let's head over to the LA betting market. We're going to start off with the big matchup between the Detroit Lions at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 5.5 point favorites. The over under here is 55.5. What are
Whew.
the numbers saying? And I'll be honest, I think this line opened, I want to say at either 3.5, and it's been betted up to 5.5. So what are the numbers saying for this matchup?
Yeah, and first of all, check out House of Horns for an in-depth preview of this explosive matchup here. But in terms of the betting angle here, yeah, Joey from Caesar Sportsbook said I think they had it at -4.5, but the sharps brought it up to -5.5. So it's been all Rams money, sharp money, public money. Everybody's on the Rams. I get it. They're doing well right now. They're red hot. They they beat down the Cardinals to make up for the loss against Carolina, which to me, people are easy to forget about that. But I'll get into it right now.
Yeah.
But everybody's on the Rams here. And then one more thing. When I usually ask odds makers, what's the game you're worried about? Joey didn't even give me a game. He said, I'm sweating the over. Like everybody's gonna bet the over. And to the credit of the bettors, the over has been hitting. It hit on the Lions, Cowboys. It hit on Chiefs, Cowboys. It hit on Bengals, Bills. These were lines that were 53.5 and above. So over bettors, that's kind of the one of the most squarest bets out there when people don't really know what they're doing. They just love the over. It's been hitting, so he's going to be
Yep.
sweating that one here. I wouldn't even. I will either go over or don't touch it because these are two very explosive offensives here. Detroit defense is not good, and then to my point here, but I'm going to take the points here and go with Detroit because I do not trust the Rams back end on their defense. They don't. They have one good linebacker and a very suspect secondary. I just saw Detroit put 44 points on the Cowboys defense. I know that the Rams defense is better. They have more pressure. They have better front, but they don't have much in the back end. And I think they could get exposed from Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Isaac Tesla, and all these guys. I know Laporta's not there, but you have Montgomery and you have Jahmyr Gibbs. So to me, probably the best bet is take the over. I'm not touching it because I don't want to be I don't want to ride the coattails of the over bettors who've been on it, and I've been saying go under, so I'll leave it alone. But it's going to be an explosive game here, and I just think Detroit is so well rounded that you don't have enough DBs to keep up here. Hey, maybe the Rams win, but I will take the Lions and the points here, and I'm okay with that bet. I'm not even worried about it. I think the secondary is going to get exposed here. Remember, Bryce Young, Jalen Cooker, Ted McMillan, and Xavier Legette carved them up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. The only difference is that this game is indoors. It's not in the rain, and the Rams get to finally play the Lions at home after having to play them on the road the previous two matchups. And to me, Gilbert, this matchup in terms of the narrative, it's a revenge game for Sean McVay. Like the fact that he's been outcoached by Dan Campbell doesn't look good on him or his resume either. And one of the things I've noticed this year is like every time there's been a matchup where they got either embarrassed or he hasn't won, like whether it's been the 49ers, remember when Kyle Shanahan just gave it to him and Shula, and then they came back and they pretty much were like, we're gonna score on every possession. It feels like that in this game, Gilbert. I don't know why I have that feeling. It just feels like they're gonna try to score on every possession here. And I'm with you. Maybe Detroit stays with them, but it just feels like the Rams and McVay. One more other thing too is it feels like McVay is really trying to push for Stafford to get the MVP. This game's going to be at the 125. It's gonna be the game of the week on Fox. Don't be surprised, Gilbert, if this is like one of those games where it's a statement game to try to push for Stafford to get the MVP. And it's one of those games where it's up in the 40s to like 20 something against the Lions. It just feels like that. I might be wrong here, but I'm taking here the Rams with the points and the over too. I'm the fact that this game is indoors too really helps these two teams be able to score in this matchup. But like I said, this year just seems like one of those revenge tours kind of things because every time McVay's been faced with that, he's kind of come back and make sure he you know press the pedal, and he's been good at it this year.
Yeah, my last thing, and I know we gotta move on, and then we have a whole preview on this show. It's just the Rams are good. It's just they haven't proven to me they're able to beat the teams that have their number. You lost to Philly already.
Yeah.
I know you split with the 49ers, but you still lost at home to
Yep.
freaking Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne. Uh, Another team that has your number, they won't get to face maybe in the playoffs is Green Bay. So Green Bay,
Yep.
Philly, to an extent, San Francisco, and then obviously the Lions. Like to me, that's one checkbox they haven't gotten to. We're gonna find that if they really beat the Lions, I'm like, okay, here we go. It's 2021. Let's find out what you're about.
Yeah, and they got to take care of business because then 4 days later they got to turn around and face the Seahawks. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
that I just think that for them it just feels like that. All right, Gilbert, let's move over to the other team in LA, and that is the Chargers are traveling to the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are 4.5 point favorites. The over under here is 41.5. And I know you started the intro with the Chiefs and the fact that people are out on them, but I'm still wondering why this is a 4.5 point number here. I just
Yeah.
don't understand it. Is it just the odds makers trying to get one last ounce of money from the Chiefs betters? I don't know. Just tell me what's going on here and why this line is 4.5.
Well, they did fool the public last week because I again I was shocked that all the money was on Kansas City last week when I'm like it I get that it looks too good to be true. It's an Arrowhead, it's prime time, but just do the simple research. That O line was decimated. The Texans have the best defense in football. Mahomes, who is great, doesn't have much outside of Rasheed Rice. Like I just didn't understand that 3.5 line. So I think to me that one was more like, all right, let's kind of fool the public into the mystique of the Kansas City Chiefs. This week, I kind of I get it a little bit. The -4.5. Herbert did not look good with the one hand. This is not a desperation game. This is not a playoff game for Kansas City. But it's just a matchup thing where your guy is banged up. Herbert could not hit his wide receivers. He couldn't find. He couldn't connect with McConkey. Keenan Allen did nothing. There was one pass to rookie Trey Harris. That's about it. Quentin Johnson did nothing. It was just dump balls of Vidal or Vidal, I forget, whatever, Vidal. And then Hampton got the touchdown. So, and the five turnovers from the defense. So to me, you're taking that crappy offense and a Herbert who keeps trying to protect his hand, who can't take a hit, to a hostile environment at Arrowhead Stadium. And to Chris Jones' credit, he's been asleep all year. He came to play last week against the CJ Stroud. He put a hurting on CJ Stroud, who's healthy. And the defense came to play. They almost bailed out Mahomes, but it didn't work. So, with that being said, I get it. I'm okay with the odds makers giving respect to the Chiefs here. Maybe it's 1 point too high. Maybe 3.5 would be better. But with that said, to me, I will stay away from this game. You know, it's either Chargers or nothing for me. I'm not gonna fall into the Chiefs. I've been fading them for a while now. Uh, and like I mentioned, I trust Jim Harbaugh more than I do whatever the Chiefs are doing this year because Harbaugh knows how to play ugly football. He's gonna produce a game plan where it's gonna be you don't want to throw to receivers or you can't throw to receivers. We're gonna run the football. We're gonna run you, Justin Herbert, who had 66 rushing yards on Monday Night Football. We're gonna lean on Jesse Minter's defense. So to me, I think they could find a way. It's just um, I just don't know what to expect because Spagnolio is still a very good coordinator. So I'll stay away here. But you're twisting my hand. I'll go with the Chargers here.
Yeah, for me, it's the Chargers here, and they have a great opportunity. As I've been mentioning, you have the opportunity here to be the executioner. You're the one that we've been talking about the Chargers forever. Like, hey, they're if any team is going to be the one that takes down the Chiefs, it's going to be the Charger. Your opportunity is right here. Take it now. Like go in and you get to do it at Arrowhead. You get to silence all of Chiefs Kingdom there. And I'm with you. Like it comes down to Jim Harbaugh right now and his ability to be able to win ugly games. You have a banged up quarterback. Run the ball here. Like do something that the Chiefs just refuse to do, and that is run the ball. The other thing is Jesse Minter, man. Like, I feel like this is his time to shine. I don't know if he's gonna get a if he's gonna be up for a head coaching opportunity because we keep hearing that he's not gonna leave until he wins the Super Bowl. But if there's something out there for you, like I would take it. But I'm not Jesse Minter. There's also the Michigan job just opened up. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. I'm just throwing it out there. But in terms of this game, I'm gonna go with the Chargers here. I'm taking the Chargers here. I just like I said, there's a golden opportunity, and for Charger fans to be able to finally, hey, we're the ones that ended the Chiefs, streak of making it to winning the division, to making the playoffs. Everything's there for you. I think if you miss out on this opportunity, you're gonna kick yourself. So I'm gonna say the Chargers here.
yeah, that'd be a great opportunity to put the final nail in the coffin of the Kansas City Chiefs and end that. You know, I also, and one thing that's kind of bothering me is like people are saying that's the end of the Chiefs dynasty. It's like
No,
it's the end of this, era for Mahomes with Kelsey. But like, it's like with the Patriots. Like, do we count, all the 20 years of Brady Patriots a dynasty? I don't think so. They didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years, but we
they went
just
10 years. Yep, exactly.
somehow we call it a full dynasty. It's just kind of spurts here. But anyways, that's kind of my pet peeve right now. Put the final nail in this Mahomes Kelsey era to bed because Kelsey's probably going to retire. Wouldn't that be a great feather in your cap to say, "Oh, we destroyed Kelsey on this final season"? So I'm with you, Vic. They should do it. And since I see Jorge and Joseph in the comments, breaking news: What's Up Boats is going to be recording later tonight. So bear with us. You'll see my face and Victor's mug for a little longer, but Dan and Fernando will come back a little later for What's Up Bolts.
Yeah, and they're back. They're alive. They're back from Hong Kong. They're ready to go. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. But no, they'll be on. Make sure you check out What's Up Bolt for that preview of Hoop. You'll get to hear from. I'm sure they'll bring up old grandpa Philip Rivers. It
Oh,
is I
yeah.
think 5:45 Jorge
Yeah.
Pacific
Maybe
time. They'll
maybe
be on.
6 p.m. with those guys. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll see what time they decide to hop on there. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that, and you can talk crap about us on there. So that'll be good. All right, Gilbert, let's get to our Super Dog contest. Week 14 pick, where we pick at least a dog that is at least plus 4.5 or more. What do you got for us this week? You kept the cover last week. You were close to getting the win, and then Burrow decided to throw a bunch of interceptions there. But you got the cover. What do you got for us this week?
Yeah, when we do these picks, I sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know what Vic's thinking here, so I'm trying to go differently. To be honest, I would have gone Detroit plus 5.5 here, but I thought you might have
Yeah,
taken that. But after hearing what you said, that was nowhere near your thought process. So I regret that one now. But
yeah,
I'm okay with this one because Joey mentioned again from Caesar Sportsbook that the Sharps are in on the Vikings, and I don't
yeah,
feel good about that. But this is one of the times I'll follow the Sharps here because. Uh, Again, I think the Cowboys were kind of fluky. I know Fernando was on them for a couple of weeks, but I knew eventually they're gonna spin out of control and go back to their old ways. And uh, being home here and with maybe no CD Lamb too as well. The way Pickens just checked out, I'll take a chance in the plus 5.5 for the Vikings from a super dog. I don't trust McCarthy. I do trust Brian Flores. And I don't know why, but I just have a weird feeling that this will be the game that Justin Jefferson does something. What a waste of a season for a prime Justin Jefferson. Do something and help me out here with my super dog.
yeah. I like it. You know the rest of the season here, Gilbert, is pretty much trying to see what you have in JJ McCarthy and whether or not you're going to have to bring in a veteran quarterback. I would still bring in a veteran quarterback during the offseason just to give him competition. You don't want to hand someone the job, but I think for JJ McCarthy, he needs snaps, man. Like he missed all of last season. He's missed some of this season. He just needs to get out there and play football. And so I'm with you. I like this too. And then I think part of it too is what you just said. I think the Vikings became the first team to get shut out one week and then shut their opponent the next week.
Wow.
So,
I didn't even
I
know that.
mean, that's crazy to me. So, maybe they can continue on with the trend there and be able to shut the Cowboys offense. So and I like Brian Flores and what he can do with that defense. Well, I'm with you on this one. Mine, Gilbert, let me preface this by saying that I don't believe in anything the Raiders are doing right now, Gilbert. I'll say this. But what caught my attention, Gilbert, at the end of that game against the Broncos was the fact that Pete Carroll decided to kick a field goal just to mess with with all the bettors out there, who people who betted on the Broncos. What was it? Minus 7.5. That field goal got a lot of lost a lot of people a lot of money. I saw Dave Portnoy say that he lost like around $250,000, some crazy amount. I'm like, why are you betting on the Broncos anyways? Like they haven't, been a good team in terms of blowing teams out, but that's besides the point here. I feel like coming off the narrative with the Eagles, everybody's like, "Hey, this is going to be a get right game for the Eagles. They're going to put things away, blah blah blah." I just feel like Pete Carroll is gonna just try to get within 10 points of this. If he has an opportunity, Gilbert, he's gonna make himself try to just go for it and try to get as close to that line as possible, Gilbert. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna roll with it. I'm just throwing a Hail Mary here. One last thing I'll say about this too, Gilbert. It's funny. Injuries have finally forced Pete Carroll to play all his rookies because guess what? He is not here to develop players. And so you're starting to see some flashes from some of these rookies, and it's all because of injuries. And it's not because he's wanting to see what they have.
Yeah, I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking. I don't believe that he cares about the betting line. I don't know, maybe he does, maybe there's something there. I think he said something about like he thought he had more time. Regardless, it was dumb, the field goal, and I know people are pissed off, but that's part of betting. You just don't know how coaches are gonna react there, but it was one of the worst all-time bad beats ever. That must have been awful.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, "What are you doing?" And I wasn't even like, "What was that all about?" And I was like, I could see why
Yeah,
bettors
I
would
was
be
watching,
upset
I'm
with
like, "Just
that.
end this game already. What the hell are we doing here?" Like, I was
Yeah,
so mad at Denver for not, getting a first down and killing the clock, and then, like, that means you're gonna give me 20 more minutes of watching this crap here because I need all the games to end, and I was like, "What are we doing here with a field goal?" It was so strange.
yeah, just I don't understand what happened there. All right, Gilbert, you are now up 20 points on me. You're up 161 to 141. You went 3-2. I went 2-3. You've been just above 500. I think for the last 5 weeks now. I don't think you've had a bad week for a while there. So you've been just hitting on all your best bets. What do you got for us this week for your uh five best bets? Let's start off
Yeah,
with number five.
you should remind the guys on Compas on the beat that I've been kicking your ass here for betting, but, no, I
Yes,
shouldn't brag because the season's not over. We got 4 weeks to go. I could definitely, choke this away here, so, but yeah, if I hold on, I want you to bring this up, for
I
Compas.
will.
That way Dan and Fernando know that I do something right. Um, and yeah, I know the Bengals, failed me with not getting me 10 points, but they did cover, they held on. So I think the Bengals could beat the Ravens, and I thought they could beat the Bills
They
too.
beat them
So
already.
yeah, and the Ravens are like people are just expecting them to come back. Like Lamar Jackson does not have it this season. There's a lot of finger pointing in Baltimore. They're still crying about the Isaiah Likely touchdown. Cincinnati's at home. I'll take a pissed off Joe Burrow who blew a game, saying, "All right, I got to come back and be better." Why not? I think he'll be angry. I know maybe no T Higgins. I forget what's going on with him. He was in the concussion protocol. I worry about that, but they still got Jamar Chase. So I'll take the Bengals here at plus 2.5.
Yeah, Mike Gesicki and all those guys are still really good. So I'm with you here. Number four.
And I mentioned this one already. Give me the Packers. I just think Jordan Love is playing better than Bo Nix, and maybe as simple as that.
Yep. Number three.
This one here too. Patriots are at home. I really like that coming off a bye week, but I could definitely see this season series evening out. But I'll take the bye week and the home team here.
Number two.
Another one I already talked about. I really think Detroit's going to expose the secondary, and I'm going to be vindicated on House of Horns.
And then number one, I love this one.
Yeah, I wanted to maybe consider it for super dog, but people are gonna call me a Sam Darnold hater if I did. They're gonna destroy the Seahawks, but like maybe you just saw you talked about Pete Carroll on a backdoor cover of ages. Like, well, I can see Philip Rivers doing some. We saw this all the time. I know the Jorge probably saw this watching Philip Rivers for many years. Like, he's gonna keep chucking and chucking and chucking until he gets like a garbage time touchdown and lose by 7 points here. So uh why not? I'll be part of the fun here and give me the Colts plus 14 against Seattle.
Yeah, I totally forgot that I'm older than than Philip Rivers. I just realized that. I was like, "Oh shit, he's 44." I was like, and he's got like 10 kids on me too. So
And a grandchild.
yeah. Wow, that's crazy. But that's a good one. It's your number one. Why not? Take a chance. You
Yeah,
never know. All right, I'm gonna
yeah.
give you mine real quick. I already talked about the Bills. I'm gonna keep writing them. And you're gonna see a theme here, Gilbert. It's all dogs here for me this week. I'm just no taking the favorites here. I'm going all dogs here. My number four is the Falcons plus 4.5. One of the best game last year with Kirk Cousins. They were 2-0 against the Bucks, Gilbert. We remember that. Why not? I'm gonna roll the dice. They're also on my wins team, so I need the Falcons here to at least give me a win. Also, I kind of want to see chaos there in the NFC South. If the Falcons could beat the Bucks, then it opens things up for the Panthers. Why not?
Yeah.
It also makes you look good because you had them making the playoffs. So anything for for our content here. My number three is the Bears. I mean the Chargers at 4.5 against the Chiefs. We already talked about it. I really like the Chargers. It's your time here, Chargers. Take care of business. Become the executioner. My number two here is the Dolphins plus 3.5 against the Steelers. I
Wow.
don't understand this line. The Dolphins have been playing great. Like they just been under the radar. People just forgot about them, but I think they've won like 4 or 5 in a row. The Steelers again. Everybody likes them because they beat the Ravens. They probably should have lost that game if it wasn't for some terrible officiating there. But hey, I and it's a Monday night game, so maybe Mike McDaniel has something up his sleeve, and if they get to what would they be 6-6 at this point then, or is it seven and
No, they're
seven?
7-7, yeah, if they win.
Yeah, then they have a shot, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But at least they're back in the conversation, and he's pretty much saved his job now. And then number one, Commanders plus 2.5. I Marcus Mariota, I get it. I don't understand why the Giants here are favored by 2.5. Jackson Dart wasn't even that good against the Patriots. Like they look better with Jameis Winston. Like I'd rather have Jameis Winston right now the rest of the season. He's over here like already doing well on these shows, and I'm like I as much as I would like to see Jameis Winston take one of those jobs from some of the people who are really terrible, I still think he has something left in it, and they should have given him the rest of the season and let Jackson Dart kind of you know sit back and watch. But we'll see what happens there. But I like the Commanders here at plus 2.5.
Yeah, one thing on the Dolphins, I do not care about them. They Tua and the Dolphins are playing well when all the games don't mean anything. When they're already out of the playoff
True.
race, they're not gonna make it. They remind me of Derek Carr Saints, Derek Carr Raiders, where like you're out of it by a Halloween, and then you start playing good football, and you show enough where you could keep your job for next year. Tua's doing the same thing right now. Mike McDaniel's doing it too. I think they're gonna regret giving this regime another chance because they're winning games that nobody cares about. Like, do it when you're actually in the race here. So to me, I don't care. I don't care about Miami at all.
All right, that's our five best bets. We'll see how it goes this week. I need to catch up. I'm down 20, so I'm throwing a Hail Mary here, Gilbert, going all dogs this week. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to our quick hitters, finish up here. We're going to start off with the Cardinals at the Houston Texans. The Texans are 9.5. The over under is 42.5. Gilbert, I can't believe this line. As much as I love Houston and that defense, I don't know if they can cover this line. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, I get it. The offense is not good, but I could see Houston winning 10-0. Like Arizona is awful. And I'm gonna do a
True.
bold prediction. Monday morning, Jonathan Gannon's gonna get fired. I think they're gonna get so beat up
Ooh.
that the only good thing going here was Jacoby Brissett moving the ball with Michael Wilson. The Houston's gonna shut that down. It's like, and now you're gonna be the Bidwell family and saying, what do we really have on this roster? Oh, let's just fire the guy now. I bet he's gonna get fired on Monday. It's gonna be ugly. Give me Houston -9.
Yeah, I like Houston, but I think the Cardinals will cover here. They've been sneaky where you least expect it. They'll cover one of those
40
games.
last week.
I know, but hey, it was the Rams offense. They were done by the second quarter. So, all right, next one, New York Jets at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is another one where I'm like 13.5 for the Jaguars. Like, I get they've been winning, but
Yeah.
like Jacoby Myers, I know it's made a difference, but 13.5, I'm like, the over under here is 41.5. How do you see
I
this
think
one?
because the Jets took a dirt nap in the middle of the game against Miami. Where did the hell did that come from? They got their asses whipped by Miami, and I'm like, you guys are two bad teams, and you couldn't show up, New York. I get the line here, and real quick on the Gannon thing, like I think a coach is just due to get fired because we've only had two. Usually, you get 3 or 4 guys get fired in the season. I think we're due for one, and I'm gonna say it's Gannon, but uh, I'm taking Jacksonville. I'm not sure the Jets and Washington burned me last week when there were the 2 losses I had. They both took a freaking dirt nap in the first quarter.
Yeah, I like I like Jacksonville here, but I don't like that line. This is way too big. Like, they're giving way too much respect to the Jaguars, and just because they've been up and down. All right, next one, Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. The
Um,
Bears are 7.5 point favorites. The over under here is 39.5.
I'll go Cleveland to cover, Bears to win. I think the
I'm with
Miles
you.
Garrett sack thing is gonna do well this week, but they were so embarrassed by Tennessee. How did Tennessee and Tony Pollard beat this defense so badly last week? It was a weird game.
Yeah, and the Bears just seem to be in one score game. So I'm with you on that one. All right, this one I want to hear what you have to say. You have the Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Panthers are 2.5 point favorites on the road. The over under here is 40.5.
Ever since I vowed to not think about the Panthers, not do anything pick wise or betting wise, they've been fine. So I'm gonna keep fading them for opposite reasons to make me look good if they come through. Give me the Saints to win the freaking game. So hopefully the Carolina wins the game. And they
Yeah,
lost it
I think.
not too long ago, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I know it was like 17-7.
And they just
Yeah,
beat the Buccaneers too.
yep. I'm gonna take the Panthers here. Things are lining up for them. They still have those 2 games against the Bucks. I want to see them beat the Saints, and I want to see the Bucks lose to the Falcons, just so we can get that. Those 2 games mean something. So just because of that, that's how I'm looking at it here. Um, Tennessee Titans and San Francisco 40. There's another line where I'm like, yeah, I can see it. I This one I'll take here. I'll take the 49ers at minus 12 and
Yeah.
a half. Where are you at with this one?
Yeah, I'll pat myself on the back. I was the only person at SI that picked the Tennessee Titans over the Browns last week. Point for me. I just felt like they were due for a win, and why not against a crappy team? They got their win out the way now, so now get your asses handed to you. So give me 49ers to win by 20.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you. I like the 49ers are gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna get 3 teams from the NFC West, which I think I was the only one that called that, I think you had who did you have
I only
which
had
division did you
I had
have 3 teams?
teams.
Huh?
Well, I don't
I think
remember. Maybe it
you
was
had the
AFC.
NFC East. I know it was one of them. You were banging the drum on the NFC East,
I
and
think
I
I
want
ended
to
up
say
not
AFC
putting.
West.
I didn't put. No, I was actually more even. I had NFC South. I had 2 teams from the NFC South. That's why I had Carolina and Tampa Bay both making it, which is dumb.
At least you're gonna get one of them there. All right, Gilbert, that's it for us. We've covered every game. No bye weeks this week, so we're done with the bye weeks. A lot of people are starting their fantasy uh, playoffs this week. So good luck to everybody out there. Good luck, with your bets this week. There's a lot of good games. Hopefully, it continues the trend that we've been seeing the last 2 weeks, Gilbert. With we continue to see really good games, especially in prime time.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks of games here. Hopefully, more here. Quick promos before we sign off. You're gonna see us one more time on House of Horns, but then you're gonna see the Ramirez brothers on What's Up Boats. We're probably gonna overlap a little bit, but yeah. And then if you're watching the replay version, check out both shows, House of Horns, What's Up Boats. But for right now, you might have to pick one in 30 minutes from now. But check us out at 5:30 for House of Horns, and then What's Up Boats maybe around 5:45 to 6 p.m. So with that being said, let's get out of here to do other shows. We got so much stuff here on Compas on the Beat. Thank you for the support. This is a true network here who's grinding out content every single day. So, nos vamos, pues, vámonos and see you in a bit.